on to a more serious topic, concussions.
Yeah.
You know, this has been a buzzword in sports circles and it's really only increasing over the last few years. And it's not all talk. Things have been changing. The NFL alone has made 40 rule changes, which include better training and sideline medical care that they say have decreased concussions by 34% since the 2012 football season.
And how about this? A new movie starring the great Will Smith is getting people to talk about it even more.
Repetitive head trauma chokes the brain. It turns you into someone else.
Tape, needles, Vicodin, Toradol, whatever it takes to keep them in the game. It's business.
Get me a meeting with the commissioner. They don't want to talk to you.
Well, that's going to be a hot topic movie. NFL not all too pleased about that. Now, if your kid plays sports and maybe takes a hard hit at some point, you should know that there are options. As TCL reporter Kelly Hansen shows us, National Dizzy and Balance Center right here in the Twin Cities is leading the way when it comes to diagnosing concussions and getting kids back in the game.
12-year-old Connor Clemenhagen isn't afraid of much. He's been riding and competing in motocross for years. He simply loves to kick up dirt.
Why do you like motocross?
It's fun.
Is it scary?
No.
Even when you go really fast, it's not scary.
It's not scary, even after Connor had a big fall last year.
It was muddy, and I was going for a bigger jump, but it was out of the corner. So when I came up, my back tire spun out. And then, I ditched the bike apparently, and then I just fell, and then the bike landed on me or something like that.
But you really don't remember?
No.
The details are still foggy, but Connor suffered his very first concussion. Luckily, it was something his dad was already prepared for.
I felt really moved that I needed to do this for my own sense of security, that if something did happen, I would have a true meaning of when he was healed.
Just 3 weeks before the concussion, Connor's dad reached out to National Dizzy and Balance Center in Edina.
We know concussion happens at a neuronal level, and so it looks at how those neurons are firing, and if they're damaged, they're not going to fire as well.
Hey Connor, I'm Caitlin. Nice to meet you.
It's called Brain Network Activation Testing, or BNA, and this baseline test helps therapists understand how the brain was working before the concussion, how severe the hit was, and what it'll take to get an athlete back to sport.
It's helping us get baselines, which is such a huge thing. If we can just get awareness to get people in for baselines, BNA, impact, our balance testing, it's just going to help us make such better return to play decisions.
BNA testing showed that Connor's concussion was mild. He was held out of school to let his brain heal. He worked with therapists on his balance and motor skills, and in less than a month, he was back on his bike.
He followed directions. You can see his dad is really dedicated. He's really dedicated to the sport, so they listened when they came in. They followed the protocol to a T, and that's how it should be. Most concussions will heal up in a couple weeks if you just stick with what the recommendations are.
You know, what's even more interesting about that BNA test is since it's looking at your neurons, it's not like you can fail. It's not like, oh man, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, and then so things look a little bit differently. It's going deeper than that, so it kind of takes the pressure off.
So if you want to learn more about baseline concussion testing at National Dizzy and Balance Center, they're holding an event on Saturday, January 30th. To register and to learn more about baseline testing, we've posted their contact information on our website. That is TwinCitiesLive.com. We also want to say thanks to the National Dizzy and Balance Center for sponsoring Twin Cities Live.